and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Carlos Granados podcast. And today I have another two special guests. But before they get introduced, I want to thank you guys for all the love. Everything you guys have shown me so far. The channel keeps growing. The podcast keeps growing. We're close to 3.5K subscribers on YouTube. So don't forget that you can also listen to this podcast on Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, and on Spotify. But without further ado, help me introduce, and with much love, with much passion, Nataly, Melissa. How are you guys doing today?
We're doing
awesome. Good. Very nice weather, so that's always a highlight.
I'm liking the energy that you guys brought as soon as you guys came into my house. And if you guys have not noticed the difference, I'm in the middle now. They put me in the middle.
Yes,
So I'm in the mix, but we're about to have some good conversations today. And I want you guys to express yourself and just be you guys in my podcast. I love the fact that you guys came with good energy, because that's, if you've seen, that's me too. You know what I mean? So could you guys introduce yourself? What is it that you do? And then we'll go one by one so people can get to know you, and we'll go from there. So who wants to start first?
I can start first.
Nice.
So my name is Melissa Silva, and I am currently a mortgage loan officer.
Go ahead. Do you share what you want to share with the people?
Okay, I'm a mortgage loan officer. I live here in Georgia. My parents are from Mexico.
Yeah, well, you know what? We're definitely gonna turn you up all the way up over here, because US is definitely. Go ahead. Now you can keep going.
My background?
Yeah. Talk to us. What is it that you do now? So you're a loan officer. How long have you been doing that for? What made you get into that? Things of that nature.
Okay, so short snit, my parents are from Mexico. I was born here in Georgia. I studied Spanish language and literature in undergrad. I also studied Russian. I studied communication. Studied abroad in Spain. I taught English in Kyrgyzstan. Came back. I was a teacher for 2.5 years. I worked for the CDC for 1.5 years.
Gang? CDC gang?
Yes.
And then, so I've been doing lending now for about 1.5 years.
Okay, got you. And what made you get into that?
One of my best friends from undergrad said, "Hey, you should be a realtor." And I said, In my head, realtors are like, buy a house for me. And I'm like, I don't have that type of energy. He's like, the other side's lending. So that's how I got into lending.
So I had a friend who's also a loan officer that came here, and she explained a lot of good things. So I know a little bit about the real estate game. So you also worked at the CDC. What did you do?
I was a public health data analyst for them. So for those of you guys that don't know, the CDC is huge, like
big.
Huge. And so if you break down the CDC to where I was in the communication department.
Yeah.
So I worked with a lot of translators. So I would like update databases. I transcribe videos. I did a lot of like translation work with them.
Okay. Got you. That's actually pretty cool. I think I've met like one other people outside of like the CDC that have worked for the CDC. And it's always impressive coming like, no way. Wait, so why'd you leave?
Why did I leave?
Yeah.
The work itself was very monotonous and boring.
Oh, I mean, I respect it. Everybody has their own thing. I feel like some people need work to be a little bit more active, or at least have different things. So, but you didn't feel like you were going to go up into like the company or at least the agency to like keep growing or anything like that? You didn't give it time for that?
Well, 1.5 years, I would say it's some time.
I don't know about that one. What do you think about that, Nataly? You think that's a good time?
I think I understand Ms. Melissa, because I also had a very, very sudden career change.
Yeah.
So everyone has their reasons. But I think 1.5 years is good enough to know that maybe your path is somewhere else,
right.
Which is fair,
especially
when you're this young, right?
Yeah.
So it's better to figure out sooner rather than later.
Gotcha. Now I respect that. I respect it 100%. So tell us about yourself then. What is it that you do? Tell us a little about your background before we get into the mix, because I'm ready.
Before we get into the deep,
yes.
the best of it. Okay. Yes. So super happy to be here. Thank you, Carlos, for the invitation, first of all. I think we're vibing pretty well. My name is Nataly Morales. Nataly, however you want to say it. Nataly.
Yep.
So I am a bilingual realtor in the state of Georgia.
Okay.
I also give motivational speeches. And I have an artisanal business that supports education in the U.S. and Mexico.
A what?
An artisanal business.
What is that?
So I bring back artisanal products from my hometown in Mexico, including graduation stools.
Oh, that's dope. And you sell those?
Yeah, for students,
Is that like online thing, or you
Not
just
yet.
by word of mouth right now?
By word of mouth right now.
Okay, so perfect. So at the end, you guys give me your websites or whatever you guys have, so I can just link it into the YouTube channel.
Perfect. I will. Yes, I will give you all my links.
Yeah, I got you.
Yes. So I have an artisanal business where I bring back artisanal products produced in my hometown, specifically the graduation stoles, sell them here, and a percentage of the proceeds is used to buy school supplies for students in my hometown in Mexico.
Oh, that's really cool, actually, yo. That's really good. You guys are very actually interesting people. Like from what you guys have told me so far, I'm intrigued. It's really cool. So tell me, okay, let's get into the mix. So you guys, what is it that you guys are doing right now? Because you guys have a grant going on. Can you guys, both of you guys, tell us what's going on? How'd you get it? I saw you guys went to the White House. Was it because of that too?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So definitely get into that. What is that? Talk to about, because I don't know much about it. I read the article that you sent me, but I'm interested about knowing, and then I want the viewers and the listeners to know what is that about.
Yeah, for sure. So Nataly and I, we both studied abroad on the Gilman Scholarship. So the Gilman Scholarship is a scholarship run by the U.S. Department of State, right? And so we applied for that. I studied abroad in Spain, and Nataly studied abroad in Peru. So this is back 5 years ago, 2019.
2019.
Okay. And fast forward till 2023 of last year, Gilman opened up another grant, but instead of paying for you to study abroad, now it's looking at you and your career and what you're doing to help your community. So they asked us, who we are, what we do, and what we do to help our community. So I'm a mortgage lender. I educate a lot of home buyers on how to buy a house, right? Especially a lot of the Hispanic community, educate them. And Nataly's a realtor, so she, tells them all about the home buying process. So we wrote up an essay, we submitted it, and Gilman was like, wow, ladies, like, congratulations, we're going to fly you out to DC, you're going to receive your award. And so the Gilman Changemaker Grant it's running for a full year, and we're doing webinars, home buying classes, and things like that. Nataly, do you want to speak more on that?
Wow.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, so Melissa and I were the dynamic real estate duo. We get along really well, both personally and professionally. I can see that. Yes. Yeah, so the really neat thing about the grant, again, it's funded through the U.S. Department of State. We're actually part of the inaugural class. Only 6 people were awarded the grant in the country.
Wow. That's fire. Wait. Congratulations, ladies. That's fire.
Thank you very much.
Oh, wait, one more. Go ahead.
And we were the only 2 Latinas that were awarded the grant.
Oh, no way. Really? Wow. Only 2 Latinas to get it. You guys making me proud as a Latino man, because we're definitely about our culture, and the fact that you guys have accomplished all of that. That's really cool to see. That movement. Congratulations. I really mean it. Congratulations, guys. Keep going.
That's so much appreciated. Yes. So basically, the main point with the grant is, how are you changing your community? How are you specifically assisting, either by helping minority communities, or for us, language access is a huge thing, right? Us being Latinas, me having been born in Mexico, growing up here in Gainesville, and going through all those challenges. Like, I remember when my parents bought their first home, I was 11 years old, interpreting mortgage documents.
I remember that, yo.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
So now I think about it, no, like, I don't want kids, whenever their parents are looking for a home, to have to go through that. I want them que tengan la confianza, that they can feel comfortable asking me and Melissa about bank statements, about interest rates. I don't want to see their kid being the one interpreting for them, because I went through that, and it's a lot of responsibility.
It's a lot. I've done that myself too. I think a lot of Hispanic kids have gone through that, trying to interpret a lot of documents that we shouldn't have. We have no business even reading. You know what I mean? Especially at that age.
About bank accounts.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So let me ask you a question, and then for both of you guys, what is something so common that you guys see in the loan part of buying a house, and then even at real estate? So how does that work, and what are some of the common misconceptions that people have, or at least immigrants family have, when it comes to buying a home? Like, what have been some of the experiences that you guys have gone through when it comes to that?
So I think 2 main things that are misinformation that I can point out right now is, one, to buy a house you need at least 20% down, which is not true. Okay, you do not need at least, it depends on the situation, right? But typically you do not need 20% down to buy a house. Second thing is our TIN holder. So people que tienen tax ID, they're like, oh, okay, no tenemos, we don't have, citizenship, we can't buy. That's not the case. You can't buy.
So if you do have a tax ID number, you can buy right now.
Correct.
Does that change within like presidencies, or is that something that's been common for a while now?
I'm sure it's been common for a while now, but like I told you, I've only been lending for a year and a half. But I mean, my branch manager's done loans desde que él empezó.
Okay, so it's probably been around for a while. Nice. What about you? Is there anything that you feel like Latin families usually like have an ideology when it comes to buying a house?
Yes. So tagging off of what Melissa just said with the interest rates, like you don't have to give 20% down. Like there's programs where you only give 3.5 to 5%, right? And of course, it depends on your financial situation, credit score, etc. You'd have to schedule a meeting with Melissa to go into the depths of that. But I think for me, what I've seen a lot, especially within our immigrant families, so at least back in Mexico, right? Typically, the way you build a house, you don't ask for a loan. No pides una hipoteca, un préstamo, right? Typically, you save up a lot of money or you build your house little by little by little. Like you start buying cement, you start, you start building the wall, then you start building the plumbing, then you start building this. So it's ongoing.
Right.
Versus how here in the U.S., people are used to having to take out a loan to purchase their home. And I think a lot of people sometimes come with that misconception. No, I need to have a lot of money in the bank before I can even purchase a home here in the U.S.
And sometimes I feel like it's even passed like generationally. Like you get houses, that's how like we own houses sometimes, or even land. So what is like the biggest struggles that you feel like people deal with? Is it the saving money, or is it the credit score? At least when it comes to like the minority, like the communities, like the Latin communities, is there anything like that they feel like they struggle the most, or maybe even understanding?
Yes. Well, one, obviously understanding all of the terms, right? If you think about it. No, seriously.
I respect that. I feel you.
No, think about it. Your average, person in the U.S. who has a high school, who has a college degree, struggles even understanding English, right? Mm-hmm. Understanding what the heck is all the mumbo jumbo that comes related to a mortgage. Now try explaining that in Spanish.
That makes a lot of sense. What about you? Anything?
I think a lot of people struggle with credit. Like credit's number one. And the thing like with my company, we can do a soft pull that does not affect you at all. And with that soft pull, we're able to put you on our system. It's called a what if scenario. So what if I pay this down? What if I do this? What if I open an account? How long would it take for my credit to increase? A month, 6 months, 2 years, which is pretty nice.
Can you explain what a soft pull is for the people that don't know?
Yeah, so a soft pull on your credit. There's two types of ways that you can get your credit checked. You do a soft pull, you do a hard pull. Soft pull does not affect you. It is not on your credit report. If you do a hard pull, that typically docks you like a couple of points.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, so but why? So I'm assuming that the soft pull is more convenient when it comes to trying to get checked for credit, when it comes to buying a house. So, and when would you need even a hard pull then?
So the reason we do a soft pull is the first thing that we do is just to see how you are, right? Because people are like, yeah, I have a 700 credit, and then we check it, it's like a 510, like.
It's an actual 510. It's not Credit Karma score.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. So we do a soft pull to set you up, to essentially do your game plan. Like, what do you need to do to increase your credit? With that, because if we start with the hard pull, that's already going to dock you points, right? And the time that I actually do a hard pull is when you start home shopping. When I pass you off to Nataly, right? Because I have to do a hard pull so I can put you through our automatic underwriting system, and then that system tells me if you're eligible or you're not eligible. Because I'm not going to pre-approve someone with Nataly without doing a hard pull. Because then Nataly's going to waste her time showing houses when this guy doesn't even qualify. Got
you. So you do that, and then you alley-oop to Nataly so she can dunk it. Got you. I feel you. That's a sports analogy.
Yes, there you go. Yes.
That's a sports analogy. So one more question when it comes to now. I had it in the top of my head, and now I lost it. God, I had it right now. Sorry. I had a really good question, but now I forgot it. Crap. It's gonna come back to my head though. So if I do remember, I'll ask you. So then, is there? Oh, I got it. So when it comes to having the income to debt ratio, can you give us more specifics on how that works? Because I thought that it was your income to your debt, but like your total debt to income. Like, how do I explain this? So if I have $50,000 in debt and I make $100,000 a year, right? So I thought that was your debt to income ratio, but I think I've learned that it's what you make a month compared to what you pay from what you owe.
Okay, so your debt.
Am I making sense?
Let me,
a little bit. Okay. Clarify things for me.
Yeah, in the mortgage world, we look at your debt to income ratio. We look at your DTI.
Okay.
We look at how much your monthly payment is going to be, and we look at all the debt you have combined. Okay?
Okay.
So we take a look at your monthly income. Let's say in a month you make $4,000.
All right.
Okay? But I'll also see on your credit report, okay, you have car payment, truck payment, credit card payment. So I look at your
student loans.
Right. We look at all your debts getting pulled out of your account every month. So if you make $4K, but you have a total of $2K in debt, right? So we only have $2,000 to quote unquote like play with. Right.
Right.
So your DTI ratio, the front end of it, is just your monthly payment. So let's say your monthly payment is $1,000. Okay. So your DTI ratio is just the front one. Okay. Your back ratio is all your debt combined, the house payment plus all your other payments.
That's complicated. Because I didn't know it was like that.
Being a mortgage lender is a lot. It's a lot.
I've heard that's and I'm sure there's ways that you figure like to like you facilitate things for home buyers, right? Like not just advise them in certain ways, but so let me ask you a scenario question, and I promise I'll get back to you. I got you. We're in the mix.
I'm like, can I drop a nugget?
Go ahead.
Okay, so let's say you have a car. Okay. You have a car.
Yes.
But you also have a business. Okay. You have a business. If your car payment is made through your business account, and if I see that car is on your credit report, I can exclude that car payment as long as you've had 12 months of bank statements where that business is paying for that car.
Oh.
So it would your purchase price increases because that debt is excluded. Why is it excluded? Because that business is paying for it.
Could I do that with my YouTube channel? Like make a
register an LLC.
LLC for my
seriously, register your LLC.
Dang.
I have an LLC registered for all my other businesses.
Oh, okay. So what you're saying is, well, what if I don't make enough?
I'm not telling you to work the system, but I'm just saying
I'm gonna work the system then.
Having an LLC.
Hey, no, this is what you got. Hey, listen, we're gonna bring this to light, okay? No, but so wait. So technically, I can do that, but I don't. Do you have? So listen, quick question then. So let's say I pay $500 for my car, a real scenario, a month. So 500 times 12 is $6,000. Do I need to make more than $6,000 in my business for them to see like, oh, he's using the business to pay for his car? Because what if I don't make the 6,000 from the YouTube? Does that count?
If you don't make the 6K from the YouTube, so
because basically, if I make like half of that, then I'm not able to really pay, the 6,000 that I do per year for my car. Does that make sense?
Right. So in your tax returns, we don't look at your gross, we look at your net. So there's a difference between your gross, right? And then after all the deductions, right?
Right.
Typically, you would deduct your car there. So we would still see it on your tax returns.
Oh, okay. I gotta talk. I actually, crazy thing about this, I have my taxes. I have an appointment with my accountant at 3 today.
Yes, that's good.
I'm gonna ask her I'm gonna ask her like, yo, should I start an LLC for my business? Because she already helps me deduct some things from my YouTube channel, like the things that I bought this year, which is great. But I want to see if I can do more things with it because I do want to make it more into a business. So that's all right, Nataly. So going to you. So then when she gives you the alley-oop and you dunk, is there anything that you advise people to do when it comes to real estate buying, or how does that process work afterwards?
Yes. So Melissa has this comparison how she's the bank, right? You obviously can't go shopping without first having money from the bank. Right. So I'm like the Walmart, the Publix, the Kroger.
Oh, you're the businesses.
Then the businesses, right? When you go house shopping, right? You can't go to Walmart without money if you want to purchase something, right? So that's why it's so important for you to have a pre-approval. That way, you know tentatively how much you're approved for. There's no point in going house shopping if you don't have a pre-approval, porque después te ilusionas and you're not pre-approved for anything, right? Like, I can't give you false hope.
Right.
And we don't want to waste each other's time.
Right.
That's the reality.
Yeah.
Yes.
Try to make money.
Yeah. You need money to go shopping.
No, that's 100% right, though. I think that's it makes perfect sense. What are some of the things that you feel like you guys have dealt with the most with the housing market now that it looks like it's slowed down? But what is your experience with that? And maybe what are you guys expecting for the future when it comes to real estate from the loan officer perspective and then from agents' perspective?
So for me as a real estate agent, I always say the time to buy is right when the time is right for you. Never ever feel pressured. Yes. Because the market, interest rates can be high, interest rates can be low, home prices can be going down, home prices can be going up, but the time will be right when you're ready. Whether it is that you got married, you're soon to be married, you have another child coming on the way, you move, like the time will be right whenever you're ready. So don't ever feel pressured. Another thing, and this is me being a realtor, if you contact a realtor and you start working with them and then you realize maybe we're not a fit, you can get another realtor.
You don't have to feel pressure to stick with one.
No.
Right.
Even if you have a contract with them, right? Because a lot of the times, sometimes a realtor will say, hey, like I get to represent you. You can dissolve that contract and say, hey, this isn't working out. And they'll be like, okay, let me refer you to another realtor. And they still get part of that commission.
No, FYI. That's kind of dope. Yes. So if I'm a realtor and I defer somebody to you, I'll still get something?
Yeah, you'll still get some commission.
Oh, snap. That's kind of fire. Yes. That's kind of dope. So I was going to ask you, in a perfect scenario, for both of you guys please answer this question. What is it that a person should do with time and let's say even when it comes to their income, like what is that, some of the things, like I'm going to put myself in this example actually so we can make it more realistic. If I wanted to buy a house in the near future, let's say $500,000 house, what is it that you'll recommend me to start doing now so I can buy it within the next year or two? What does my scenario look like? What would you guys recommend? What would you guys advise? How does that look like? And I have a lot of friends in this situation too around my age that have great income. And they have, I know, pretty good credit. And obviously we're waiting to things in the market to get a little bit better for us. But what does that scenario look like for us if I came to you guys just from knowing that information?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm going to start off right. So you always start with me first, okay? You always start with the loan first. Like Nataly said, you can't go home shopping without any money, right?
Right.
So I got to check you. So honestly, getting a house is two things. It's your credit and your income.
Okay.
Depending on how good your credit is and how much money you make, we're able to offer you a loan.
Right.
Okay, so credit, first thing. Keep your credit up, take care of it, make your on-time payments. Don't max out your cards, all right?
Okay.
That's one thing. Keep your credit in check. Second thing, do not take out too much debt. Car, truck, you saw that nice Ferrari that you really wanted, hold on. It's easier to get a Ferrari than it is to get a house.
But I want it, Melissa. I want it, man. Come on.
So yeah, just try to hold off on debt, like things like that. Second thing, income. So we track back your last 2 years of work history. Okay. You got 2 years of work history. Can you hold down a job for at least 2 years?
Please,
we don't
continuously
have to, be in the same job for 2 years, but we do track back your last 2 years of work history. Okay. So, got credit, you got an income, and save money. Okay, save money
for the down payment.
Correct.
Doesn't have to
so
be 20%.
There's two things when you buy a house. There's two main things that you pay for. You have your down payment. It's what you invest in your house.
Okay.
Second thing are your closing costs. The closing costs are all the fees associated with the transaction. You're gonna prepay your taxes up front for a year, your insurance up front for a year, and we close with the attorneys. They also have their fees.
Dang.
Those are closing costs.
Those are the fees that are, dang, bro. So that's what we got to prepare. We got to save for those two things as well.
Yeah. And so, we do offer a down payment assistance program, but what I do tell people is the bank never loses. Okay? You got to know that. The bank never loses. So the down payment assistance.
It's like a casino.
Okay.
Have y'all been to Vegas?
I've never have. I want to go, and I want to go, but I like casinos.
Well, half of my family lives in Vegas, FYI.
Is that an invitation?
I'm just saying half of my family lives in Vegas.
I'm saying, I'll pull up. Don't tempt me. I'm gonna go over there.
Pending podcast in Vegas.
Pending podcast
Part
in Vegas.
2, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna buy the little Rockcasters one, like the ones you put here, so you can just carry it with you. Oh, that'd be fire. Keep going. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No.
But we got into the casino one.
Yes.
Where was I? Oh, down payment assistance. All right, yeah. Bank never loses. So our down payment assistance. So you have 2 monthly payments. You have your regular mortgage payment, and then that down payment you could not pay the day of closing gets financed into the loan.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
So you
just pay interest into the.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bank never loses.
Pay that over 10 years.
Damn. Well, how much would that be though if you pay over 10 years? Like the $5,000 basically.
Or well, okay. Let's say your down payment was $10K.
Okay.
That $10K gets financed into to your monthly payment. So your monthly payment's higher, and your purchase price actually goes lower.
Yeah.
Right, because it's a higher monthly payment. So you pay that in the lapse of like 10 years.
Gotcha.
120 months.
It's a long time. What about you?
Okay, so let me tell you something about the housing market right now, right?
We
all know that
Talk to me.
Interest rates are not so low, right? They're
Not so
a little
low, to say the least.
But historically, they've always been high. Like, this isn't, like, in the past 30 years, like, there was a time when interest rates were above 10%.
Really?
Yeah. If you go online and look up interest rates historically within the last 50 years, you're going to be flabbergasted.
Oh, so we're now, it's not like something that's probably going to keep, I thought that it probably will continue going up.
So, Melissa.
So, speaking on interest rates, look, let me just say this. I work with two types of buyers. You either have a social or you have a tax ID. Okay?
Okay.
So, if a person has a social security number, typically they get, the interest rate that's at market, your average market rate. Okay? A person that's got a tax ID, they, right off the bat, they have a higher interest rate. Okay? You're looking at from 9, I've seen all the way to 13. Okay? So, you complaining at a 6.8, a 7% right now, like, I have no sympathy for you. You can always refinance.
Please have sympathy. Please have mercy.
I tell people they stay at the 9, they stay at the 10, they stay at the 11, the 12, the 13. There's no refinance unless their kid grows up and the kid refinances the house under their name in.
So keep going.
Yes.
Go.
So interest rates are projected. There are projected to be cuts for interest rate in the upcoming year. I can't tell you exactly what those cuts will be, but just be mindful of that. Now, right now in our market, right? So interest rates are higher. Whenever interest rates are higher, homes tend to be more affordable.
Okay.
And there's not as much competition. People typically don't want to buy when interest rates are higher.
Economics.
But again, so going back to the whole, whenever the time is right for you will be the time that is right for you to buy a home, right?
So here's the thing with like interest rates, right? A lot of people think the Fed is the one who control interest rates. It's not. They control inflation. Inflation in turn affects interest rates.
Right.
So yeah, the Fed cuts. They cut down on inflation. Okay.
Gotcha.
Inflation and then turns affects the interest rate. It's not like the Fed's like cutting the interest rates. It's that they're messing with inflation. Is what affects the interest rates.
Going to the point, I got two things that I want to say eventually, but I want to one with the interest, but the other one is I had a friend, and shout out to Adri. She's been a really good friend of mine for a while, and she's a loan officer, and she was making a case one point where, and I want to know you guys' opinion on this, and I think I might know where it's at, but I definitely want to hear from you guys. So, even though, like you said, if you have a tax ID, and your interest rates are higher, she said she was really like into saying like, even though you might end up paying so much more for the house in 30 years, at least it's something that your family can have that you can pass on to somebody else because you're putting money. Because, 13% on like a $400,000 house, you'll probably end up paying over $1 million and some change if the math is mathing. But even then, like, probably your house will be worth maybe 600, 700 by then. I don't know. But like, what do you guys think about that? Do you think even though you're paying, 300, but you're basically paying for another house in interest to own one house? How do you guys see that? Do you guys think it's a good idea, a bad idea? Especially you guys are, from the Latin community, and a lot of people that we know have, tax ID numbers and not social securities, right? What do you guys think about that?
So you say, you're with the interest rate you're paying with one house, you're paying for two houses. Okay. Let's say they stay renting. Okay. 30, 40, 50, 60 years, 70, 80, whatever, they live to be. You're still paying, but at the end of the day, it's not yours.
Correct.
You don't have that legacy. Like you said, you
you're not building generational wealth.
Kids.
Right. But so the counter to that is you're not building generational wealth, but you're also paying so much more for that generational wealth. But you think even though that's still worth it.
Yes. And again, everyone is a different situation.
Correct.
For like a lot of our parents, for example, some of them dream of going back to their homeland.
Like, a lot of them do. That is true. That is true.
They're here for a good time, not a long time.
100%. They came to build, make some money, and go back so they can just live peacefully.
A lot of them already have their home built in Mexico and Latin America.
Right.
You know what they can do? Once they buy that house and that equity, sell that home.
Oh, you're talking about the other house.
Homeland, the one here in the U.S., right?
Yeah, I have a friend who's actually, his parents are thinking about doing that exact same thing, or leaving it to the house to their kids and just move to their homeland.
But you have something that's yours and that has built equity.
Right. I think some to some people that might be a hard concept because either you haven't witnessed it or experienced it like in around you. So that makes a lot of sense. And you made a good point, so we can transition into another question that I have for you guys. So you said that, renting, if you rent for 30 years, obviously nothing's going to be yours. You just rented. But how do you guys feel about the renting situation now? Because there's a good case for renting and buying a home. Like than it's ever been in our lifetime. Before, owning was always the move, but now renting is something that's more appealing for people, especially like people like me, instead of buying. And why do I say that? And why do people make the case? Because when you start paying for a house, let's say you're paying, $2,500 to $3,000 for a mortgage, right? A month. Well, a lot of that money, it's going to interest rate. Because if you understand how you're paying over 30 years, you first pay your interest rate, and then it goes into the principal, which is something people need to be aware of. So how do you guys feel about that? Since you guys are obviously in the real estate business, what is your viewpoint? What is your opinion on that?
So within the first 5 years of you buying a house, if you look at where your monthly payment going, the majority of it is going towards your interest.
When you say majority, what percentage would you put on it? Are we talking 70, 80, 90?
So you have to look at your specific amortization schedule. So
okay.
You look at how it's coming down, and your schedule will tell you. I can't tell you right now because I don't have a schedule, but
what's like an average? What's something that you see?
Let's say you pay $1,000, Melissa. Could you give us a?
If you pay a mortgage, like let's say your mortgage is $3,000, right? Okay. How much of that $3,000 is actually? So in your monthly payment, you have four things. You have your principal, what you actually owe on the loan. Right. Interest is what the bank charges. Taxes and insurance. Okay. How much of that $3,000 is going into the interest rate? That for that first payment? I don't know.
But what's is there like an average? There has to be like even if you give me a frame, like it can be 70 to 90, 80 to 90. I think but at least can you say that most of it is going to interest rate?
For sure.
And that's a struggle, don't you think? That's hard.
So within the first 5 years of you purchasing a house, that is when you can make the biggest impact. So let's say your payment's $3,000, okay? But if you want to put towards more money towards your principal, you can also do that. And within the first 5 years, that's when you make the biggest dent in your mortgage.
I respect that. But that's even hard. If you're making
I get it.
Yeah.
$3,000 plus on top.
Yeah, I get it. No, you've heard it, and it's an actual concern though. And I think it's healthy to have those conversations because, obviously people, myself and other people want to hear from your side and then your side. And so, but what do you think about that? I'll let you answer the question.
On how people for rent?
Yeah. So what do you feel like about the conversation? Like, do you think, I know renting, it's more appealing right now at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I totally get it. I think especially after COVID and people started having remote jobs and they were able to move around. Like I know a lot of friends who, with their remote job, decided, hey, I'm not even going to be in the U.S. Like, why would I think of buying a home when I work remote and I can travel the world, or I can be in Latin America and my expenses monthly are way lower. So I always say, when the time is right for you, the time is right. It could be that you never become a homeowner because you choose not to. You might have the income to become a homeowner, but you just choose not to. Right. And you can say right now, no, I don't even want to think about a house. Well, who knows? In 5, in 10, 15 years, you find your boo thing, the love of your life. Right. You have a family. Oh, now I want to buy a home.
Right.
And my thing is, real estate has historically always gone up in value. And it's like, why? Because you're buying land. Like, there's no more land. Like, you can't make more land. Like,
good point.
Like the land that we have, like that's it. Like
land of the free, home of the brave, America.
Good old America.
Oh God, that's a good point though. And then these are interesting questions. I feel like it's healthy. So I guess you guys already kind of answered this already. So even though for people who are not comfortable with buying houses right now, I guess for the future, what is something that you recommend? Is it just saving money, save up, so when you feel like it goes down or anything happens, you're eligible to buy the house?
Oh, I have one.
Talk to me.
A personal one. If you're familiar with a high yield savings account.
Yeah, like a bank account, like a savings.
Yes, okay. But it gives you more interest. So you should never have your savings in a regular bank account because the bank is not it's pretty much giving you pennies. Yeah. Yep. Right? They're not giving you any interest. Right. And I'm not a financial advisor, FYI. No.
Good disclaimer.
Disclaimer, right? I don't want to get sued. Yeah. So if you ever plan on buying a home in the future, you should open up a high yield savings account. Okay. Right now you get the average above 4%.
Okay.
So I have all my savings in my Ally high yield savings account.
Okay.
Right? What I really like about that account is that I can make buckets for savings. So let's say, I plan on buying a home within the next few years.
Mm-hmm.
I automatically every month set that money into my home bucket.
Mm-hmm.
And it's giving me 4% back a year. Instead of having it just in your regular bank account, you're going to get nothing.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm. Giving you a couple cents, a couple dollars a year.
I appreciate sharing that because that's an actual scenario that you can do. And that's something I feel like even I should look into starting soon. Because obviously I eventually want to own a house. But man, I look at just how much I would pay per month. And I'm like, especially because I'm single, first of all, I don't think I need a house. But even then, if I did want a house, it's like, it's a little...
And that's another thing. Like, I think a lot of us have this mindset, when I become a homeowner, it's going to be a house. No, like, a lot of people don't even think about, like, there's townhomes, there's condos.
Right, that is true.
Yeah.
They're cheaper.
Yeah, they're more affordable. And that should be your starter home. Like, I know when I buy a home by myself, it'll be either a townhome or a condo.
I got you.
Yeah.
So when you say by yourself, so now let's get personal.
Uh-huh.
So both of you guys look like you guys are doing well and doing decent.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys are single. Why? We had this conversation already.
The market's low inventory right now.
There's not a lot of inventory.
Right now. Y'all need to quit playing, Carlos.
Wait. Why is it y'all? I've told you I'm not in this.
You represent the males. Okay, right
I
now.
represent the males.
Yeah, there you go. You're representing males or representing females.
What percentage of males am I representing though?
The ones that live in Georgia that keep playing around.
Many.
Hey, that was a good one. That was a good one. Oh, the games. We have gotten into the mix now. The games. Damn, so the inventory's not high. So what is it that you will be looking for then in a man for you guys? And I think it's just cool conversation to have because I think relationships, while we're single, is always going to be a conversation. So what is that you guys are looking for in a man then that here in Georgia that's missing? Maybe you find one, I don't know, Europe or something. Yeah. I'm asking. Welcome to the podcast because we're getting mixy.
We're going from housing to dating.
Yeah, this is how I switch it up on you guys. This is why I don't like to do much more in the background before because when I come with questions, I want the actual natural reaction. And I saw your face. What do you guys think though?
It's interesting that you asked what do you look for in a guy. I listened to this podcast and this guy's like, why, are you focused on what that person's got to bring to the table? What are you bringing to the table? And that's
preach, sister.
And that's something that's like hit me. But now that you asked what I look for in a guy, okay, me being a mortgage lender,
credit score.
Yo, I love that.
No, but let me tell you why. I've had couples that come to me, both of them sit down, right? And we're going over through the credit report. I go over the credit report. Why? Because some people are not aware of accounts that they have. Okay, Number one. Tell me why. I see he on his credit account, he's got K Jewelers, late payments. He owes over $5,000.
Dang.
Like engagement ring.
And then for that engagement ring.
Wait, was it for the ring?
Yeah.
For that engagement ring. Y luego como que se quedan viendo. And she's like, and I'm like.
That ring, you were all over
and late
social
payments
media?
on that ring?
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't even pay for the ring. Now imagine a wedding. She's probably thinking like, wait. If it's an engagement ring, I wonder if it's still, is that the same thing as a wedding ring?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, you have your engagement and then you have your wedding band.
Isn't it the same thing?
No, uno de comprometida.
So you need, what are you saying? You need two?
Yes.
So fellas,
but
if
if
we
you
listen,
can't pay both of them,
like,
why do you need two?
Hey.
I'm just saying.
Uno, like cuando te pide, y lo ya when you get married at the church.
Oh, the wedding band.
Mm-hmm,
Oh,
the
yeah.
band.
Okay,
So
I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what
band.
you mean now.
Yeah.
The church
Son dos.
ceremony.
so you buy two at once, basically. The proposal ring and then.
Correct.
Wait, are they both rings or one? What you say? One you said is a band.
Yeah, uno está como más gruesecito.
Listen, I'll go through the process in due time.
It depends on the style she likes, right? Or he likes, whoever likes. Okay, credit score. My thing is 3 things. If you can make me laugh, you can dance. No, perdón. If you can make me laugh, you can play an instrument or you can sing, I'm sold. You know why I say that? Because it matters what's in the inside. Yes. So imagine, I've never seen a good-looking old man ever. We're all going to turn into like grapes. Okay? Right. We're raisins. We're grapes now. We're going to be raisins then. And so like when the beauty se acaba, what's there? What's in the inside?
What's going to keep you falling in love.
Exactly. If you can make me laugh, you're sold. Or you can like sing, you're sold. Because like I love like music, or if you can sing, laugh, or play an instrument. Because I feel like esas cosas no se te van.
Okay, Melissa, question for you.
Ooh.
Can you sing or play an instrument?
I cannot. Neither.
But you can make them laugh. So.
No, but it's cool.
Can you make them laugh?
But you can make them laugh.
I can try.
Can you make them laugh?
I can try.
Can she make people laugh?
I feel like you've laughed since we got here.
Yes.
I feel like you've laughed since we got here.
I'm just asking a question.
Wait, no. Ahora yo te pregunto a ti. Have you not laughed at my?
Nah, you. It's good. It's a good time. You guys got good energy. I love that. This is good. What about you?
The dynamic duo. So
that dynamic duo.
We are,
DD.
right, Melissa?
DD.
Yes. Eminem, Melissa, Nataly. So.
Is that the band?
Eminem.
Can I be the singer? No,
Can you sing? Wait, can you sing?
I can't sing.
You can be the DJ. I feel like you're gonna have a.
Yeah, I think you'd be a good DJ.
When.
Can you play an instrument?
I'll be the DJ.
Oh, what about me? So I am very traditional in the sense, and maybe because I was born in Mexico and I also grew up in a very, very traditional Catholic Hispanic household. For me, something that I very much look in a partner would be someone who has a strong work ethic, who's very family oriented. And if they can dance, I am sold.
There's the Latin women. I feel like that usually that's a big deal.
Yes.
If you know how to dance, like if your partner knows how to dance, it's like I can see myself dancing with you. Have you guys gotten though like the typical like why are you guys single from like your family and you're older?
Oh my gosh.
Because typically the women in our culture they get married or have kids at a very young age and like they can't see how
you're 30 and single.
You're 30 and single and I'm like I'm actually gonna take my time, enjoy. Is it a generational thing?
Yes.
You think it's a generational thing or like society? What is it? What is that about us right now?
So let me tell you, my family, especially my uncles and my mom's cousins, they have this running joke where they say that if I'm not married by 30, they're gonna host a raffle.
And then whoever lands,
whoever lands,
I got you.
And they're gonna marry me off, and I'm 27, so I got 3 years.
You got 3 years until you're sold.
That, yes, until I'm raffled off.
Raffled.
Yo, that's actually a good
marriage.
One. That's a good one. What do you think, Melissa? What's going on? Is it what's in the water that we're just out here? Because you know why I say that? I have another cousin who I love and we've gotten close, and she's also going through the same thing. She's my age. I have another friend who's going through the same thing. Who's literally like we're almost alike. That's like a brother to me, and we always have these conversations. But I want to know from other people's perspective.
And I think our generation is very much like not committed, or I don't know if it's our generation or people, man. Like we're not committed. We're cheating. O sea, why? Just let the person go.
We're cheating?
Melissa.
Who is we?
Talk for yourself.
Perdón, o sea, la generación.
Wait, where's the buy-in? Where's the buy-in? Is it this one? No, it's not that one. Is it that one? That one. That's the one. Who is we?
I don't say like these men.
See, all the blame's going to the man on this side. You know what I mean? All the blame's going to us. What are we doing, man? You guys need to lock it in. But we get that a lot, though. We get that in the Hispanic community, and the families
Son
like
bien enamorados. Hispanic men, bien enamorados.
What does that mean? Somos enamorados.
Like
flirts.
Oh, is that how you say flirts in Spanish?
No, but I just be like, si
son enamorados.
Enamoras a todo mundo.
Flirt with everyone.
It's part of our blood, bro. It's our This is what you guys love. What do you mean? Como se enamoran? No, not cheater. I didn't see you're going.
Melissa, you took it to like.
Bro, you took it to the extreme. You know what I'm saying?
Who hurt you, Melissa?
Who hurt you?
Let's not get into that.
La vida.
WHY. Who hurt you, Melissa?
WHY. Who hurt you? Wow. Oh my goodness.
Who didn't hurt you then? You're talking from hurting.
You need some healing done in your end.
No, it's just like
you need a cleansing.
Situationship is como le dicen now, right?
Situationship.
Oh, it's a situationship, but you guys son enamorados. We're like enamorados.
Well,
it's a Latin spice and everything nice.
What about you? Why are you single?
Yeah, Carlos, what about
you?
I mean,
Okay. I think I see we have 3 things in common here, right?
Singleness?
Singleness, yes. Number one, singleness. Two, we both, college educated Latinos.
We are. Yes. Yo, actually, don't overlook that one. Mm-hmm. That's a good one. Mm-hmm. Good to point out. Go ahead.
Okay. Do your thing, 21. Professionals,
We are.
Trying to be successful in this world, I think.
Yes.
I think overall you could say we're successful Latinos, right?
Helping community.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's good. That's actually a good point.
Similar age. So why are you single? Or what do you look for in a partner?
Damn, I've been asked this a lot of questions. Es que me gustan las tóxicas.
Oh my God. Hashtag toxic.
Are you for real?
Yo.
You're taking out my...
Hey, where the tóxicas at? Shout out. Slide into the DMs. No. I've always answered this, and I'm honest about this. Mm-hmm. I think it's because I've dealt with a lot in my life where I really need peace in my life. Mm-hmm. It's hard to find somebody that has that mentality of wanting to bring peace into your life. They want to bring their baggage, even whether it's unwillingly or willingly. If they don't want to heal, they're still hurt from past relationships, or they still have all these assumptions about men and stuff. And I just want peace in my life, man. And the woman that brings peace in my life, and it's a woman of God, that to me is somebody that I'm looking for. But it's hard to find that nowadays, especially I'm 30. If you find somebody around my age, it's going to be hard for someone to find just that peace in life. And that's what simply comes down to it. Plus, I have a lot of things going in my life, and if anybody comes into my life, I want that to be heightened and not brought down because of everything that I'm doing. I mean, I've told you guys before we started a lot of things that I've been doing, recently, and it's a big part of my life. I have a big passion for what I'm doing now. My family, my health is important. My career is important. My relationship with God, everything with my friends, not perfect, but I'm always striving to even get better and just be better for myself. So you made a good point earlier where you were like, yo, what are you, you always want somebody that's bringing things to the table, but what are you bringing? Mm-hmm. And I've actually had the mentality too. Like I always need to bring something that,
Carlos, you also touched on something like, Jesus, like, society, I don't know, like now I feel like, I don't know, like people like como que se ofenden, you start talking about like, I don't know, like the higher up, right? Like, really? Right, but I'm like, I want a God-fearing man, like alguien que, o sea,
that's your number one. That should be your number one priority. But look, and you're right though. Even this religious topics, we actually had I told you guys earlier, like last week, we had a conversation about. We had another girl who's a friend of ours, and we have mucha confianza. Like there's a lot of trust. And another friend, we talked about the pornography topic and how she, people struggle with it, men struggle with it, but we also looked at it through the lenses of Christ. And I don't think always bringing it to the light, the things that we are suffering from or like struggling with, it's a problem. But a lot of people in our society, they shame you, right? Because you're afraid to be judged. And even when it comes to being religious, you're afraid to be judged because like, look at you, you're a what? No, but they don't understand that we're not in it because we're perfect. If anything, because we're so imperfect that we try to keep fighting because we all have our flaws. I'm not afraid to admit my flaws. I have a lot of them, but that's not what the point of, trying to work a relationship with Christ is all about. And this is, I think, why people have a misconception of like, and if you tell somebody you're Christian, and especially if they're looking from the outside in, they'll always judge you. If you do anything that it's wrong in their eyes, aren't you Christian? Aren't you like this? Because they can't see themselves doing the same thing you're doing. So I don't let that bother me. I don't let that, don't get me in the mix, girl. Don't get me in the mix. Why are you quiet now? She started thinking about her life.
You're right.
You good?
Yeah.
You good? Chilling?
Yeah. Chilling. Listening.
All right, cool. No, that's a good conversation. So, so we're gonna transition into something else. I wanted to play a game with you guys of Would You Rather, but I think we're gonna save that into a little bit longer. So I don't know. Let me check with you. Are you good on time?
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. I don't want you to. I want you to get your business to make sure we're vibing. Check mic 1 2. Check mic 1 2. Probando. Is there anything else you guys want to say in regards to the grant that you guys are doing? I don't know if you like fully went into it because I thought that was really interesting, and the fact that you were able to apply for that's pretty cool. So is there anything else you guys want to share into that? Or maybe what isn't something interesting? Keep going because I want to hear more about that myself.
Yeah. So Melissa and I are super, super excited because throughout the year, we're going to get to work with a lot of Hispanic serving organizations. So that's another reason why I think we won a grant that was so competitive because we'll be meeting the community where they're at. Churches, Georgia Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, nonprofits, places that people usually don't get outreach, right? Or where communities tend to be ignored.
Okay.
That's what we'll be doing, a lot of that outreach. Like, Melissa and I did last year. We door knocked on over 300 homes with Gainesville Housing Authority to get people to come out and learn about how they can go from renting to eventually becoming a homeowner.
Did you guys know that they were renting prior to going? I'm assuming. Oh, wow.
So I looked up Gainesville housing and what section it is all over Gainesville, and I did a little roadmap. And Nataly was her chauffeur, but I was like, Nataly, this is what we're hitting. This is what we're doing. These are how many homes are here. And we get off and we split up. Yeah. So we partnered with Gainesville Housing, Chesapeake. We have United Way right now. We have an upcoming session with our alumni association.
Yeah. We University of North Georgia.
UNG. Shout out UNG. For you guys.
UNG, yes. And then we have something in the works with Georgia Tech. So we're excited for all these home buying classes and webinars.
So what is the plan when you guys finish? You said this is a year program. So what is the plan that after you guys finish, will you guys apply for another grant, or are you gotta submit do you have to submit a paper for this, or what is that? What is it gonna be like?
Yes. So we are definitely planning on applying again. We're also looking, it's in the works, going to national conferences to present on the state of Hispanic home ownership.
That's dope.
Yeah, that's one that I'm
so dope.
Super excited because I love looking at statistics and data.
Yeah.
So fun fact, throwing it out there. Latinas are more likely to be homeowners than Latinos.
Ooh. So
women
are
Latinas versus Latino
Shout out.
men.
Which one? I'm going to hype you up, girl. I'm all about that. That's awesome. That's really cool. And is there a reason as to why that is? Did you ever, or is this just a statistic and you're they're more likely to buy? Is there a reason as to why that is?
It's just a statistic, but I think it comes from
independent
a lot from...
women.
Es que porque nos ponemos las pilas.
Yes. Hashtag.
Tirando pedradas, bro. And you know what? I'm a duck like this right here so it can miss and hit your friend. And now she's going to get knocked out by esa pedrada. Stone Mountain. You throwing Stone Mountain at me.
Ooh. Ay, hasta acá me dolió.
So is there a reason as to why, or is just I guess more the independent mindset that our women are having nowadays?
Well, I think a lot of it comes from being, so for a lot of Latinos, right? Typically, if you're the oldest one, ever since you grow up here, right? Your parents, if they don't speak English, if they don't have a formal education back in their home countries,
right?
You deal with a lot of responsibilities, right?
True.
Then it turns into you tend to be first gen. You end up being the first one in your family to graduate college. Then you go from being first gen to being the first one in your family to be a first gen professional, having white collar job, office job.
And the thing is,
so you mature a lot
with even home buyers that I have now, whether they be Hispanic, African, black, white, whatever color they are. I've always noticed it's the female que es más movida con el papeleo. Yeah. I'm like, hey, I need your ID, I need your bank statements, tax returns, W-2s, pay stubs. The guy's like, yeah, I'll get them to you. Como que son, no sé, es que ustedes son un poco más yeah, we'll get it to her. And la mujer es más what do you need? I got it for you. I got it.
Right. I respect that. I mean, that could it be also a cultural thing, or a culture that we're building as women, because I don't think we've seen this type of movement or I've heard of it at least, or read about it, ever when it comes to Latina women, the impact that you guys are making. I mean, we met through a friend also named Melissa. That she always moving, man. She's always making it happen, and she's always active, and she's talked to me about even her goals that she has in life, and it aligns to what you guys are saying a lot. Does that make sense?
So I'll give you another statistic.
Talk to me. Ooh, I love statistics.
I love looking at data numbers. So Latinos are the highest opening businesses at the highest rate, the highest minority opening businesses, right?
Okay.
But it's Latinas leading the way opening businesses.
No, that's actually kind of fire. I would have never thought of that.
Yep.
Wait, are you serious?
I'm serious.
Wow. Shout out. Hold on. Shout out to Latina women out there, ladies and gentlemen.
You got two of them right now, así que...
You said what?
And you got two of them right now, así que I feel blessed.
I'm blessed. ¿Cómo se dice? What's the dicho de las
Bendito entre las mujeres.
Yeah. That's what I am right now. Now you're gonna make me blush. But you know what? I call that blessed. Is it hot in here? Who turned turn the heater down. It's hot. I might go outside on the Tick 5.
Jump in the pool right now.
Definitely not. It's a little bit too cold. But you know what though? That's a blessing, and that makes me really, really happy that Latina women are So is there anything that you guys want to say to a Latino woman, even a Latino man, it doesn't matter, like who's listening or watching, in regards to accomplishing things in life, maybe the way you're doing things right now? Because when I look at you guys are doing a lot, and it makes me proud, not just as a man, but as a Latino man. And you know, like, that's really cool. My sister's on actually her way, the same way you guys are doing things. I know my sister in the same route, and it makes me really proud. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is there anything you guys want to say to anybody, to a young Latino girl, woman, you know, whoever it is? Because there's a lot of people that are listening that wish they would be in your spot. You know, maybe be educated, maybe be moving a lot. And I want them to listen to that and hear that, you know, it's a possibility that you can do it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, motivational speaker.
Yes. So I'll share something with you. And, you know, I always say, si se puede. So I very recently had a very huge career change, right? Mm-hmm. I'll tell you a little bit about what I give my motivational speeches about. I give my speeches to colleges, organizations, students, business resource groups about my journey as a first-generation college student, Latina immigrant entrepreneur to Harvard. I have a master's from Harvard.
Wow. I read that one of you guys were, but I don't know why you haven't mentioned it. That's really... So you have a master from Harvard in what?
In higher education administration. I wanted to pursue a PhD, become a professor of Hispanic serving institution, do research, and I am now a real estate agent and entrepreneur.
Hold up. So what happened? Talk to me. What was? How'd you get into that mix? From Harvard, master's in Harvard, now to real estate. How did that go about? Talk to me.
Yes. Very funny. So I always say that I've literally tripped into real estate. Melissa was actually there because 2 years ago, one of our good friends, who's also a realtor, he invited us to a real estate gala, right? Mm-hmm. And, you know, towards the end, like, we were helping him clean up. And I was walking, like, I hadn't even had a drink in my system, like, fully sober. I was walking. There was literally nothing in my way. And I tripped. It was a cement floor. My heels flew up in the air.
No way. It's like a cartoon.
So no, it was bad.
Now I remember this because I was talking to the singers because I had seen the
How
singers
about that?
at like a different party. And when Natalie was tripping over there with her heels, I was just like talking to the singers. And then I came back and Natalie's like, "Did you not see me just tripping with my shoes in it?" And I was like, "No."
Yeah, no, but it was from one end of the room to the other, and it was bad.
Yeah.
Like, I tripped and then I still flew a little bit.
No way.
The only thing that stopped me was the wall.
But she's clumsy, so
yeah.
That may boost it to her.
So when I mean that I literally tripped into real estate and entrepreneurship, I literally tripped.
Wow. And then what happened?
So that was 2 years ago, right? So I did work in the education sector. I will always have a lot of love and will always advocate for access to education. That to me means the world because education and access to it absolutely changed my life and where I am today. But I became very disillusioned with the system. And I don't want to get into that because it's very personal.
Okay. I respect that. I was about to keep asking you questions. I'm like, why? But okay.
Super disillusioned with our education system, especially in higher ed. And
quick question. But if you ever want to share, would you be willing to come back and we can talk about it on the podcast?
I'd be open to it.
Okay. I'm just asking.
Probably
maybe
in a year. Right? Okay. You know how we talked about healing?
Yeah.
I'm still in the process
so you're healing.
of healing.
So your school hurt right now. Your higher education system hurt.
Yes, I am.
Dang.
I'm still healing.
Okay, I respect that. I respect you.
But to backtrack, how I became a motivational speaker was also by accident.
Dang, bro. You just keep slipping, bro. Where's the banana peel
you know
here,
what?
bro?
Así como me caigo, me levanto.
Oh.
I fall and I rise.
That's a motivation. that's what I would expect from you.
So I graduated from Harvard in 2022 with a master's in higher education administration. During my graduation, we were doing my photo shoot with my mom. I dedicate absolutely everything to my mom. She is the reason why I'm here today. Ella me sacó adelante sola. My mom wakes up at 4 a.m. to work at a poultry plant. Wow. She is my biggest inspiration and the reason why I got to Harvard.
Wow.
So while we were doing our photo shoot, we were done. And we're at the steps of the library. And I told her, I'm like, "Ma, ven para acá, like, come over here." And my aunt was there, and she started recording. I began placing my graduation attire on my mom.
Oh man, that's gonna make me cry. Hold on, because I had a keep going because that's gonna make me emotional. But that's beautiful.
And
Dang, you're hitting me with it because I'm coming from a similar angle as you. So did she cry? Did you make her cry?
Not at that moment, no.
Oh man,
she was
strong.
Actually tired.
She's strong.
She was tired from the photo shoot. Like we had just flown in from Georgia to Boston, so she was tired. So she was actually, when I told her come up here, mom. She was like, "Ay, que quieres ahora?" Like.
Yeah.
But yeah, so se quedó ese video, and then afterwards I posted it on LinkedIn more than anything, thanking my mom. Mm-hmm. And the video went viral.
Wow.
And it was absolutely amazing and absolutely overwhelming. Because from one day to another, it had millions of views, and I had hundreds of messages on LinkedIn, and I had people wanting to interview me left and right, and I had organizations asking me, "Hey, we would love to hire you." I just
got chills.
Yeah,
I'm chills right now, dude. Los pelos de gallina. Keep going.
We had, I think in like the span of a week, we did like 8 interviews, my mom and I, with like Univision, Telemundo, and other.
Dang, bro, that's fire.
And other chains. And then organizations began asking me, "Hey, like we'd love to hire you to be a motivational speaker. Can you speak to our chamber? Can you speak to our students?" And that's how it happened.
Wow, that's actually a blessing, man. Like the fact that people noticed, and I think that's the beautiful part here, that people actually notice, and what that means when you put that on your mom, like what it means to us. I felt the same way. I didn't think about putting that on my mom, but at the same time, when I graduated, I dedicated my undergrad to her.
Yes.
And then I said, the undergrad is for you, and then the master's is going to be for me. Like, and man, that's a beautiful story. Thank you for sharing that. That's a very beautiful, and I think it's very inspirational. Definitely, we don't have a story like you. So do you have a story like that? Because I know I don't, but I love my mom, and everything I do for her is also for her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know what it is about Latino moms too. We always do something for the mom. It's like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I love my mom.
And,
we have
I want
to
give, and of course, I also want to give a shout out to Melissa. Like, Melissa drove with me to Boston when I moved up. Like, Melissa has always been there.
So how long have you guys known each other for a while?
5 years and counting.
Yes, and counting.
Wow.
So
and now we share grants together.
Because, in undergrad, we shared a lot of scholarships. But it's interesting because we did not meet until our last semester.
Yeah.
Of college.
Of college.
Undergrad.
Wow.
Yeah, like, never ran into each other, ever. It just, Diosito, he just knows how to, put people in your life.
Yeah. When they're meant to be.
Right. Wow. Yeah. That is cool, guys. That's very inspirational from both of you guys. And I mean it when I say this. I'm proud of you, how far you guys have come. And you know what? The difference that you guys are making. Because that says a lot about you and the fact that you guys are not selfish, right? The fact that you want to leave a legacy behind. It's not just about you. It's about the other people that you see around you. And whatever way you have, you look at it, it's a beautiful thing, man. And it's a beautiful thing to have the community, especially here in Georgia, helping each other out. And what's the word I'm looking for here? I respect you guys for that. It's not easy. It's not easy to do that. So thank you guys for what you do. This is, it was very beautiful. Is there anything else you guys want to share to the people, to the world?
I'm really appreciative of this. And Melissa, conectarnos,
Yeah, shut up, Melissa. What's up, girl? Yeah, she's
What's
good.
the next type of event?
Right. Yeah, she's been inviting me to events too. We go, but...
I'm telling you next Thursday, 6:30. Are you busy?
Well, no, it's because I have a test. Remember I told you for my health. Yeah.
Well, there'll be a lot of events.
No, she invited me to some events too, to connect with Latinos and stuff. And I mean, it's cool. I was part of the GY party like you were. Boy, did you get the...
I went to GYP, because they connecting events, yeah.
Oh, got you, yeah. So we were part...
Es que tú nomás fuiste a la fiesta. I actually go to
Puro pinche party.
I mean, yes. But you gotta balance, right?
Yeah, of course. You gotta enjoy yourself. Yes. Buzz, you're young. You're doing the thing. I respect it. Well, guys, this was, very beautiful. I thank you guys for sharing, and I would love to have you guys back on. And even maybe in the future when it comes to you guys having... maybe completed that 1 year and see what happens afterwards. I would love to hear from that. Thank you for inspiring a lot of young women, Latino women, even males, because, I feel inspired by you guys myself. And I'm going to continue to represent, the community and represent the countrymen. So thank you guys for being here today. I really appreciate it. You guys were really great, to be honest. I love you guys. Much love.
Thank you,
Ladies and gentlemen, today ends another podcast. It's always, sad, but I appreciate you guys for anyone who's been listening or watching. And if you are listening, don't forget that, You get to watch this episode on YouTube in 4K, so the best quality you can get. So if you like the visuals, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We've been growing a lot, guys. We're getting closer to the 4K. And, just thank you for all the love. Thank you for listening. Don't forget, you can listen to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Spotify. Thank you guys for all the love. I appreciate it. See you guys on the next podcast. And as always, peace and love, familia. Melissa, Natalie, thank you guys for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you,
See you guys on the next one. Just guys. Thank you. Wait.